You would think they would have got it by now.
Right? Like a decade.
I think and you said something earlier where you were like we learned through notes and tones and stuff like that. Was that your goal with all your projects? Like, because I know you personally, so I know that you take time out to actually do research,
Right.
like extensive research before you write a song.
Right.
Because you want to be accurate. You don't want to lead anybody astray. You want to misquote anything. You don't want to, you want to be that symbol of you're going to get the facts from me, whether you like it or not. This is what it's going to be.
I say to people, as true as that is, I always open myself up to learn and be wrong about things and to expand my mind. And I feel like, for me, the journey started a long time ago. Like, mind you, I was born in a military hospital. I came to Harlem when I was super young, right? I never talked like this when I was a little kid. You know, my mom was horrified when somebody called me a nigger for the first time. She didn't even know it was on a white kid. When she found out it was other black people and Latino people, then she had to explain that to me. But I never called myself that growing up. And then someone on the basketball court was like picking teams, and I showed up, and they were like, "I got that nigga. I got that nigga." And they pointed at me and they said, "You little Puerto Rican nigga, I got you." And I'm like, "I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm not a nigga." Like, how? I told my mom, and my mom's father is black, so she was furious, and she was like, "How dare someone say that to you?" And then I explained it to her, and she was like, "Okay, well, I have to break it down now. Sometimes people use this word." And mind you, I'm like 7 years. I'm like,
I thought this was a bad word.
She was like, listen. Sometimes people use that as a colloquialism. They use it to. That's another thing that was interesting in my household. I was never talked to like a baby. I was always talked to like I was an adult, like I had to get shit done. So my dad was super like, he came from the Peruvian military. He didn't want to hear shit.
Where your parents from?
Peru.
Both?
Yeah. And he was also like a survivalist. So they would take me out to like a river. Obviously not like like a Mississippi River, but like a small like lake or pond, a stream. And my dad would row halfway through. He had like an inflatable boat. And in the middle of the river, he would make me get out and swim. But he would always be near to make sure like I didn't think. He was always made sure I was a good swimmer. And I never put it in my head. And then I realized later on that the #1 cause of drowning for toddlers and kids is not heart disease, leukemia, it's drowning. So how come people don't teach their kids how to swim? You could drown, at a day camp that niggas from the hood got sent to. Remember the little day camp niggas went up? I remember crazy, freaky shit happened when I was like 8 years old. A girl in the camp, not that day, but the day before we got there, she fell off her bike and she hit her head, knocked herself out, and she drowned in 2 inches of water because her face was in the puddle. You could drown in 2 inches of water?
You only need a teaspoon of water to drown.
Imagínate. So it's like, I survived so many fucked up, crazy things in my life. So I think maybe the drive that I had was to just not see people make the same mistakes. I've broken my own heart. I've fucked myself out of money before. I don't like to see, I didn't like that feeling. So I want to make sure other people understand that they don't have to bring that upon themselves. You don't have to torture yourself to write good things. You have to live a miserable life to be creative. You can be creative and be happy as well. You just have to put yourself in the mind frame to be able to do it. Sometimes people think that struggle brings creativeness. No, it's a dedication to the continuation of writing and keeping going. And you have something to prove when you're young. You have no accolades, so you spend more time on the craft.
It's the focus during the struggle. Dig it.
Do more like seminars or like, besides like the prison, which like your own seminars?
Yeah, like I'll do it in colleges. Like I'll go speak at colleges if people want to know more about like the musical aspect, how I started, and then I explain to them that I was taught the business, like the culture. I had advantages other people didn't have. Like for example, KRS-One would throw a block party and be at my house, and then or not my house but my block, and then afterwards right in front of Grant, the projects, kids were asking him questions. We got to ask Rakim questions. Like as a New Yorker, we take for granted the fact that we grew up around so many legends, and you can pick their brain, and other people can only do it through YouTube questions that someone else asks. And it's like, I had a first row seat to these people, to Kool G Rap, to Nikki D, to you know what I mean, to Chuck D, to these people who were at the Apollo, because we would just be posted up in front of the Apollo as little kids, like, yo, who's coming in today? Because they would all go through the side entrance. The Banana Republic and Red Lobster, that wasn't there. Anybody who knows Harlem, that place is a fucking lot for like 40 years, and that the lot had a side entrance, so everybody would be in the side entrance. A lot of rappers got at that side entrance. That's why a lot of people got. And it was funny because a few people, I hate to say it, they've been robbed, but they were robbed so nicely because it was like people felt bad. They were like, "Yo, my nigga, I love your music, but I gotta have that nigga." I'm not gonna say who his name is, but I'll tell niggas off camera. There was a dude who had a very nice chain, and niggas rolled up on him. And I know I don't know the people, but I know loosely the group, and they were like,
My bad.
I love you, fam, but niggas gotta eat. And everyone was saying that for the rest of the summer. That's what everybody was saying, like, I love you, my nigga, but niggas gotta eat. Like, everybody in Harlem was saying that the whole summer. And it was fucked up, because niggas jacked this nigga's chain and he didn't do a show in Harlem again for like 15 years.
Damn.
I just think because your words
I'm
are
trying
so...
to think.
That's Googleable.
Your words are so impactful, and like, you know, I speak to a lot of rappers, and somehow, like, every time when your name is mentioned, they can always, like, take at least one quote or something that you've told them.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, you going to colleges and prisons, I think that's great, but I also think, you know, you yourself can have, like, I would attend everything you do. Like, if you said, hey, every Sunday I'm here.
I would advise you to attend the seminars, because personally, you get reminded when you hang around him that he's from Harlem, and he's gonna do Harlemish things to you.
Like, everyone does, but that's what makes us like a double threat, right? It's because, like, you know, anybody I knew who can combine the two, right? Wisdom, knowledge with like street smarts are just like way ahead, you know, myself included.
Right. Fig, you're not getting it, but it's cool.
I just think,
No, because
I think it's dope.
I appreciate that. And I think I definitely want to.
Flowers. That's
No,
what
thank you.
Flowers.
I
Definitely.
wanted to expand definitely the program to make it something steady, which is why I did it like all summer one time, and then I would just teach a whole semester through. But I definitely would open it up for other people so they could learn not just from the things that I did right, but the things I did wrong.
Right.
The way that music changed during my era to streaming. People always ask me the one crazy question, which is, how did you maintain a fan base for years without putting out music?
Can I answer this question?
Yeah, because I
think he'd be great at answering that.
No. This is something that he told me real early on in my career. He was like, listen.
See quotes, man.
He said, Math.
You gotta do the voice. I didn't talk like that.
You can follow the trend. And the trend may get you money. May get you a whole lot of fucking money. But guess what? The next time another Joe Smo comes up and he's better at that trend than you, you're out of the picture. But if you tell people the truth.
Yo, he made me sound like I'm a villain in a kung fu movie, right? Like, hey, if you don't fucking come over here,
you've done the kung fu villain many times in front of me.
Bullshit.
You've done the kung fu villain many times in front of me. Don't let me talk about that time. Hey, Math, come over, let's watch some battles and counting the money in front of me. We can get to that, but anyway. He was like, if you tell people the truth, if you give it to them straight up, you speak from here, you may not have all the people that follow the trend, but the ones that do follow you will follow you forever. Mm-hmm. He told me that before I went on tour with him. And when we went on tour, every night I watched that whole crowd transform into a line that just wanted to say thank you, buy some merch, have a conversation with them. I'm talking about sometimes we were there longer than the actual show.
Right.
After the show. To the point where like the club owners are there like, yo, man, there's still people here. They still want to buy. They
the
still want to
register's
talk.
still open. You can't stop that. And also, I remind people, it's good to know the boundaries. You cannot let fans walk all over you. You have to set boundaries. You can't just touch me, come up to me. But also, you have to have a lot more patience than I've seen. Even me, I've been impatient with people, and I regret that. Mm-hmm. And I'll take this time to apologize to anybody that I was fucked up with. But sometimes when you mob by like 800 people, that's one thing I always remember. Man, be patient. Someone's gonna ask you the same question 7 times. Someone's gonna try and grab something off the table, and they don't mean it like they're gonna steal. They're just looking at it. So
Right.
you gotta, yeah, I've definitely been like foul to people sometimes. Like, man, they'll ask me something like 4 times. I mean, I'm like, man, shut the fuck up, man. You heard what the fuck I said. I said it on stage and I'm saying it now. And now I look back and I'm like, that's a fucking 20-year-old kid. He don't fucking know no better. Plus, he's stammering and nervous, right? Like, I'm from Harlem. I know what it is, bro. I see a little kid running around the street, a white lady gonna grab a purse and clutch her pearls. I look at a little kid running around the street and I'm wondering, what are you running from? The only reason I know little kids running around the street is racing each other or they running from something. You're not running to something, you're running from, you look scared.
Right.
And that's because I look at people as human beings.
Right.
And I don't have this fear or not understanding of people. I grew up around everyone, so here in New York was always the melting pot. So I fought every kind of person, you know what I mean? I've interacted with every type of person, whether it was black, Latino, Asian gangs. I mean, I knew everybody when I was a kid.
You pretty much been around the world
right,
with this.
we went down to Chinatown to buy fucking fireworks, knives, guns when we was kids. That shit was a fucking market. Now you can't buy a pair of nunchucks down there. They're like, no, we don't sell that to people.
You can still get fireworks here and there.
Right, here and there.
Yeah.
But uptown, you know what I mean? There's a fucking market in the street. Heroin, here we go. And I'm just, now it's just like, oh, whoa. Now they kicked all the drug dealers off the corner so they could sell it at CVS.
Right.
That's where your heroin is. They didn't get rid of niggas because they wanted to get rid of drug dealers. They got rid of you because you were competition for the store. That's it.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard. Told Jim I need a bomb I could drop on you niggas. Bad boy, I'm never gonna stop for you niggas. I don't give a fuck who you got is the illest. I solidify my spot with gorillas. Now I'm